The name is Keese. Marques. I guess that was kind of corny. Oh well, I'll keep it. Hey guys, thank you for joining the quest again today. I'm your host Marques Underwood, and today I'll be reviewing a movie that came out of my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2015, Spectre, which is directed by Sam Mendes, and obviously it stars Daniel Craig. Now this movie is basically a direct sequel to Skyfall. Going into the movie, I was expecting like a Skyfall 2.0, and I didn't get that, but it's still a good movie. I'll kind of compare this movie to Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. Yes, those same plots that were inside that movie, they're in here. Old school versus new school. The main guy, he's basically on his own, and there's a badass girl that knows how to fight. You put all those elements, put some James Bond flair into it, that's what you would get with this one. And like I said before, this is a pretty good movie. What I've been hearing, this is Daniel Craig's last movie as James Bond, and if it is, he went out on a bang. The action in this movie, it was great. This is some of the best action scenes of this year. Probably right underneath, Mad Max Fury Road and Mission Impossible 5. This is, like I said, one of the best. Like the opening action scene just set the mood really well for me. I really felt engaged, and it was like a typical James Bond one. It kind of reminded me of those like 1960s James Bond, like Sean Connery one. This movie in general actually kind of reminded me of like the old James Bond instead of like the new approach that Sam Mendes came up with. Like in Casino Royale, I remember the movie opening up with the black and white stuff, kind of like Sin City, but with the James Bond flair, and then they went into the whole walking into the scene and shooting a gun at the barrel. But for some reason they took that out of this movie. I think that kind of hurt me in my opinion, even though I still enjoyed it. I wished it still had this little flair, and like the way Skyfall was, it was really deep. It really went into the history of James Bond and why he is how he is. And I feel like Spectre didn't really go that deep into it. I kind of feel like it would mention it, but it wouldn't go in depth. Like it was scared to talk about the topics and just what occurred in the previous films. And that kind of sucked in my opinion. Batista, yes, the WWE wrestler Batista, he's in this movie and he doesn't really talk much, but he's still very memorable. He's definitely one of the most physical guys that James Bond's ever dealt with. I would kind of compare him to like Jaws, just with like his strength and just how he is on camera. I think Batista did a good job portraying him. I thought he was going to talk more just because I've seen some interviews with Batista, and he really felt engaged in the role, and just behind the scenes stuff that I've seen, I thought he was going to be a little bit more than a one-dimensional character, but he still worked. Christoph Waltz, who plays the bad guy in this movie, he was really good too in my opinion. I wish he was in the movie a little bit more. It seems like he was only in it for about a good 30 minutes or so, and the movie's like 2 hours and 20 minutes, so that kind of sucks. But like his entrance in the movie, that was really good. There was a lot of attention and suspense, especially when they wasn't showing his face, because his face was kind of in the dark shadows, similar to what you see in the trailer. Then obviously he shows that he knows that James Bond is there, which is also in the trailer, so that scene really helped. But I wish his character was in the movie more. I felt like the script didn't really fit the character in my sense. Like it didn't really go in depth and just try to give you like a memorable villain the same way you did with Skyfall, or the same way you did with Casino Royale. I wish they tackled that down even more. Even like the last act of the movie, I thought it kind of sucked. Like what happens at the end, I don't know, like why would James Bond do that? The main James Bond girl, I do not know how to say her name, but she was marvelous. She wasn't no Rebecca Ferguson, another female from Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, but she was really good in this one too. She really felt strong, but with her character, I didn't feel the connection with James Bond. There was like a forced love issue going on there, and I just didn't believe it just because it wasn't established from the beginning. And I thought if they did that, it might have worked a little bit more. But overall, I enjoyed the movie. I'm giving this movie an A-, a 4 out of 5. It's not one of the best Daniel Craig James Bonds. Actually, if I had to rank them, I would probably go Casino Royale number 1, number 2 would be Skyfall, number 3 would be this Spectre, and number 4 would be Quantum of Solace. I just think it's a good mixture of everything that's been out previously by Sam Mendes, and actually took a few liberties, went back to the classic stuff, which I could appreciate. So I think overall, if you're a James Bond fan, I think you'll enjoy this movie. So, have you seen Spectre? If you have, comment below, and I want to know, what's the best movie of the Sam Mendes, Daniel Craig, James Bond era? And also, who should be the next James Bond? Again, comment below with your thoughts on the film and this topic I just brought up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, especially if you like what you see. I post a whole bunch of videos, hit that subscribe button, And thank you again, and join the quest.